right here. What an awesome pass through the slot, onto the stick of Batherson. Kachuk in tight up, let's get got it, scores! Brady Kachuk wins it in overtime for Ottawa.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by a friend of the show for the third time. I think it's the first time in Sens Talk's history we've had the same guest join 3 times. It's Angus Crookshank, Senator prospect. Thank you very much for joining us, Angus.
No, thanks for having me, Brandon. I love chatting with you. I love coming back on.
Well, it's a pleasure, man. How's your summer been so far?
It's been good. Good to kind of be a hockey player again, which is something that hasn't exactly been the case, obviously, with last year. So it's been awesome. Gotten to spend some time with family, see my buddies, but most importantly, be able to train and get ready for the season here.
You were telling me before a few days ago that you were actually in Edmonton recently with other Sen prospect, Parker Kelly. You know, obviously we know there's a mall there in Edmonton, but what else did you do there? Did you guys get some fun things to do?
Yeah, we'd work out at where Kells works out. We'd go golf and then we'd skate at night, sort of thing. So we put a couple bucks on the line, but in our little golf match, I came out on top twice. Not a big deal or anything like that, but yeah, no, Edmonton's like kind of a bit of a sleeper city. I'd never been there before, but it's that kind of area downtown, like the Ice District and that sort of stuff. It's a pretty sweet setup.
Oh yeah, especially, I mean, look, you know, Edmonton definitely gets a lot of flack for like what I just said. You know, everyone knows of their famous mall, but I mean, every city has their little things. I mean, even Ottawa, everyone says Ottawa is a boring city. I mean, it's not New York, but I mean, you got stuff to do for sure. So every city has stuff to do, especially when you're a large city like that. So you said you won the challenge there. I mean, do you and Parker Kelly go back and forth a lot? Because I know you guys obviously know each other from Belleville, but is there a lot of, you know, little competitions during the season between you two?
Yeah, it's way too many now at this point. We had when I was hobbling around on my knee, like post surgery, Kells was with the big club. And so he and I, like after I'd be done my rehab, we'd almost have like this, like we kind of created these games that obviously didn't involve me moving because I literally could not move.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like we'd be in the back gym area for probably like hour and a half, just playing like these stupid games, just getting in each other's head. It's a pretty hilarious time. But yeah, no, we love to do golf matches. He's a very good golfer as well. So that's kind of something that we're both passionate about, and both kind of, it's pretty easy to get in someone's head during a golf match. So that plays kind of right into our hands.
You know, actually, that's funny. I was going to ask, you know, Parker Kelly's known for his chirping. You're starting to get known for your chirping too. What's that like? You know, you guys definitely don't leave it. You say what you want to say. Let's just say that on the ice. What's it like out there on the course?
Wouldn't say there's any bars that are held. Depends on if we're playing with other people or not. One of the days was just him and I on the course, so that was let's just say there was not exactly a very big filter. But the second time we were with some other people, so we had to hold back some things that we said. But at that point, you already know what's about to be said, so like you're saying it in your own head, so the other guy doesn't even have to say it, which is kind of funny.
You know what? That's awesome. I mean, you always got to have friends like that where you can just, you know, let it all out there, and you can know that if you roast them a bit, you know, they're going to be just fine. That's the best. And more importantly, competition is always key, right? You know, you don't want to play a round of golf without a bit of competition. You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
So that's fun to hear. I'm glad that you've had a great summer. That's good to hear. But I want to talk about your ACL recovery. I know when you joined the Locked On guys about a week or so ago, you mentioned that you're ready to go. You seem to be healthy. Why don't you talk to us a bit about your recovery for those who missed that episode with the Locked On guys? So just talk to us a bit about your recovery and where you're at right now.
Yeah, obviously it was a pretty slow go, especially when I was back east in Ottawa, and Belleville for that matter, once I started skating. Yeah, it was a bit of a slow go. It's me being an impatient person. It didn't exactly play into my hands. But yeah, everything was just super methodical. They did a great job with kind of keeping tabs on me, not making sure I'm not doing too much and I'm doing the right things, which I'm incredibly thankful for. But once I kind of got back here to Vancouver, I had already been skating and working out pretty much normally. So it would have been like I just kind of approached as though, okay, this is a normal summer. If my knee is acting up one day, okay, then we go get treatment. But otherwise, let's just like essentially train it to
get back to the level.
Get back to that sort of to your point level that it was before. I don't know. I confidently believe that it is.
Great to hear.
Really kind of hang my hat on at the end of the day, so to speak. I've done my job and continue to do my job. The therapists have done their job and the doctor's done his job. So at the end of the day, I have full trust in it for that very reason.
Well, that's great to hear. Obviously you need the right people around you, especially with such a serious injury. I mean, knee injuries, ACL injuries, they're dangerous. You got to make sure you take care of that. So it's good to hear. How do you prepare though? I mean, you've almost been out, if not for a year now, almost a year. How do you prepare to return to game action, especially with the rookie tournament coming up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we kind of talked about that in my exit meeting, like during my summer, doing a lot of game situation stuff, a lot of drills with guys on your back and guys pressuring you and having to make plays, reading off guys and all that sort of stuff, essentially getting my game rhythm back. So that's been kind of my focus this summer, is doing skates where I always constantly have pressure and I have to make realistic game plays versus just bobbing and weaving through cones. I mean, there's a time and place for that for sure. But I mean, I had pretty much a whole season of bobbing and weaving through cones during my rehab skates. So I think I'm past that. I was kind of like coming back and wanted to essentially just play like 3-on-3 and like scrimmage, just because I wanted to play against guys and see where I'm at. But yeah, no, I think it's been an incredibly productive summer in that sense. There's been we have a good group of guys, good pros for that matter, that we kind of do scrimmages with every Tuesday, Thursday. So I get, sorry?
What do you usually scrimmage with on those Tuesday and Thursdays?
It's me, Ken Johnson, Connor Bedard, Jarek Harris, Danton Heinen, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jay Christensen. It's a good group of guys.
Oh yeah. I mean, firstly, can you talk to me about Bedard? I mean, we saw him at the World Juniors. Holy cow, that kid's release is insane. But what's he like in person? I mean, 17 years old, the whole country's talking about him, but to be a first overall pick. What's he like? And more importantly, what's he like on the ice too?
He's a great kid. You wouldn't be able to tell all that stuff's going on with him. Really? He's very, very reserved, deals with it incredibly maturely, which is impressive. I'm not sure very many 17-year-olds would be able to deal with that as mature as he. On the ice, it's ridiculous. Like like in our 3-on-3 games, like we'll do best 7 series, like up to 5. He's a lock to have at least 2 goals every game. Like he'll come down and literally just like pull it through you and just rip it top shelf and find holes on goalies. Like, it's absolutely nuts.
When you play against him, does it feel like, even though he's 17, not even drafted, still in juniors, does it feel like you're playing against like a star already in the National Hockey League? I mean, what you just said, I mean, that sounds like Connor, not Connor, sorry, not Connor Bedard, Nathan McKinnon, like, you know what I mean? Sounds like a superstar. He's 17, but you just said it yourself. I mean, this kid is clearly different. What's it like out there, like playing him one-on-one in that pressure? Does it already feel like he's an NHL player?
I certainly think so.
Wow.
I mean, I like to say I watched my fair share of NHL hockey this past year. And I confidently could say he is already a very, very good NHL player.
Now, that is a wide range of players, Heinen, Nugent Hopkins, Bedard. That's a whole different group of players from all different parts of the league. How did all of you guys kind of like mix together and form that like 3-on-3 group?
We've skated together the past couple summers. And we've just kind of gotten to know everyone's kind of gotten to know each other more and kind of gained that. I mean, obviously for the older guys, they already had that established respect as NHLers, pro players, all that sort of stuff. But as kind of us younger guys have kind of gotten older and have started to play pro and that sort of stuff. I mean, I can barely say I've played pro. I've played 19 goddamn games for that matter.
16 points in those games, though. I mean, you're excelling. Just saying.
But we just kind of started to like, hey, like, you guys want to do a scrimmage? Like, we'd love to, like, we really want some game reps type thing with guys on our back. And it's kind of evolved from there. It's pretty awesome. If you go back, I think it's that, well, Kent and Bedard both mentioned in post game and after the gold medal game, after Kent scored the OT winner. So we call it church, and like it's Sunday mornings, and like we go play 3-on-3 for pretty much the place will allow us to be on the ice. And like, yeah, I don't know, it's a pretty awesome way to kind of wrap up your week and get going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, and I'm sorry about that. My phone just dropped, but no, absolutely. I mean, that's really cool. Specifically, just like, I love how things like that just form together. And more importantly, I mean, especially coming off of a ACL injury, a knee injury like that. I mean, you know, getting to play against NHL players and upcoming stars. I mean, there's no better kind of rehab you can have to get really into game shape. And speaking of getting into game shape, the rookie tournament's like less than a week now. You know, we know that you're going to be there, right? I saw that so you're going to be at the rookie tournament, which is great to hear. You'll be playing against prospects against like Boston and Buffalo, stuff like that. I think Montreal too. How excited are you to get back into game action and get into that rookie tournament?
I can't even explain how excited I am. Like, I just want to play hockey. That, like, it's, with all due respect to like my trainers and all that sort of stuff, I'm sick and tired of being in a damn gym. I've been in the gym for way too long. I just want to be able to play hockey, and I'm thankful that I will have the opportunity to do that. I think it starts the 13th, I believe.
Yeah, so we're just about 11 days away. There you go, right? Do you know who you think your line mates are going to be there at the rookie tournament, or no idea really yet?
No, I think, I'm sure Manor and Sexy and Belzy all have an idea of what kind of the plan is, but yeah, I have no idea. I mean, at this point, I'm just looking forward to being able to play in whatever kind of role that is.
If you had to construct an ideal line to play with, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, I'm sorry, who would you want to play with? And there's no personal feelings here. It's just hockey.
At rookie tournament?
Yeah.
We'll
start with that.
Man, I mean, I liked playing with Ritter a lot. I mean, obviously, Ritter won't be there this tournament. I played with Ritter last year. I guess we'll go with current guys. Playing with Pinner would be good just because he's so smart in everything he does. He's just so reliable both ways. Then the right side, I think like Soko and I had pretty good. Had a pretty good when I was playing in Belleville, so I think it'd be. Plus, he's a shooter too. Yeah, I think like he'd be a good guy to kind of be able to get the puck too.
Yeah, well, Pinner will definitely win you the faceoffs, and Sokolov's a big body. I mean, you're pesky. I think I like that line right there. I think that can produce a lot at the rookie tournament, and hopefully, Coach Mann is watching this. Maybe he takes some of your advice there. I want to move on now, just to overall the Ottawa Center offseason has been crazy. Obviously, you're a Sens fan now because you're a part of the organization. Claude Giroux, how big is that to the organization?
I think it's sick. I mean, one says like my 8-year-old self that's been watching Claude Giroux. It's like, holy crap! Like I get to go to camp with Claude Giroux. Like that's pretty cool. But I think even for the young guys, like having a guy that's done all the things that he's done in the game in the locker room, it'll bring a sense of like in those tough situations, it'll bring a sense of kind of calm and someone who's been there before and kind of just bring down the pulse a little bit of the team. Everyone can kind of take a breath. Yeah, I think it's absolutely huge, and it's not like he's declining at all, like points wise. I think he will be a great addition to that top six, which is, I know I was talking to my parents the other night. I was like, damn, like with these new additions, I mean, I'd put Ottawa's top six against anyone's in the league.
Hell yeah. I put a tweet out the other day, so be careful with what you say there, Angus. I put a tweet out saying that Ottawa's top six is the best top six in Ontario. I think it goes without saying I got some backlash from that, but I agree with you. I mean, the next guy, and I could let you speak about him too, Alex DeBrincat, multiple 40-goal scorer. Insanity. How big is that for the franchise?
It's huge. And I think for like just having a proven goal scorer, and having a guy like, I mean, if whoever he's playing with in that top six is a center, whether it's Noof or Timmy, it's like he's going to get the puck and he's going to produce. Like,
Absolutely.
You don't have to think twice about it. I mean, he's proven it for the past few years in Chicago. Like even when Patty Kane's out, he's still producing on that line. Like he still found ways.
Exactly. When people speak about DeBrincat and always bring up Kane and say, well, he produced like that because he was with a phenomenal playmaker like Kane, which is, of course, Kane's a phenomenal playmaker. Stützle is too. 59 points as a 20-year-old last year with third liners on his wing. I mean, that's no disrespect to those guys, but obviously Giroux and DeBrincat are upgrades on the wing for Stützle. If he had 59 points with those guys, imagine what he's going to have with two bona fide stars in this league in Giroux and DeBrincat. So, like you said, that top six is nasty. Plus the first line of Batherson, when healthy, phenomenal. Tkachuk, he's just such a rare player to have. He brings more than just points. And then, of course, Norris, 35 goals, automatic on the power play. Yeah, I take that top six over many top sixes in the league. I have to agree with you. Last one, Cam Talbot. Goaltending is so important. How important is that to this team?
Huge. I mean, I think it stabilizes everything at the back, having a guy that's kind of proven has been in the league for a while. I think it's huge for even guys like Sogi. Yeah. When they get brought up, God forbid someone gets hurt, and having a kind of veteran guy that has been through his kind of first few years in the league, knows what the expectations are and kind of the pressure that's upon you. Having a guy like that he can talk to and share ideas with, I think it'll be huge. And he's also a proven number one goalie in the league, which I mean is okay, I suppose.
I mean, Sogard, by the way, I mean, that kid, what I like about the tandem right now, it gives Sogard a chance to be the starter of the future still. You got Forsberg on 3 years, including this one, and then Talbot has 1 year left on his contract. So Sogard, we saw him last year against Detroit and a couple of teams. He looked pretty solid. You know him. He's a friend of the show, of course, here as well. And he's a big-bodied, goaltender that's athletic. You don't see that much, except for a guy like Andrei Vasilevsky, for example. So, I'm not comparing the two. But what I am saying, though, is he has a lot of potential. And I'm glad to hear that, like you just said, there's some good mentors for him up here in Ottawa. When I had Bruce Garriock on the show a couple of weeks ago, he noted you as a dark horse candidate to make the Senators. And I have to agree. Like I said previously in this interview, in your 19 professional games, yeah, it might not have been a lot, but you produced quite a bit, 16 points in those games. Have you spoken to Pierre Dorion or the Sens organization about expectations going into this year?
I think, honestly, not really about expectations or anything like that. I just have my own personal goals. But, I mean, I think at the end of the day, yeah, I'm just getting back into playing the game again, not to belittle my expectations myself. But I mean, at the end of the day, I haven't played a game in a year, so I don't really know what to expect going in. I mean, I expect the best for myself in anything I do. That's just how I'm wired as a person. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just all I can do is just work my butt off at camp, show what I can show, and see where that takes me. Whether that's with the big club, awesome. If it's in the A, awesome. Like if I'm in the A, like I have time to be able to kind of get my feet back under me again and prove myself in the NHL. Like, wow, like, okay, it's right here already. Like, let's go. So so I guess just we'll see.
Well, great. I mean, I think that's the right attitude to have too. I mean, after a year off the ice, I'm obviously not a professional hockey player, but I can only imagine after a year off the ice, you need to take it day by day, especially when you're getting back into game shape. That's why I think the rookie tournament's so big for you, by the way, because that's before preseason, that's before camp. That really gives you a chance to kind of catch up to everyone else and kind of just see where you're at too. That's gonna be huge for you, I think. And more importantly, you're gonna have a big role, of course. You're one of the better prospects in the organization. You're gonna get a good chance there. You're gonna have some good players with you, and that should definitely help. Not only build confidence that you can, you're ready to go, but also show to the organization that you're ready to go because you could be producing with those guys. So I'm really excited to watch that. Like you said, it starts on the 13th of September against Boston, Buffalo, the Habs. There's some good prospects there, so it should be fun to watch. Last question, because I don't want to keep you for too long. I know you have some things to do this weekend. But, you mentioned in our last interview how important it was during this tough time with the ACL injury to have people to speak to, like Colin White. Now, of course, Colin White, has left after the buyout. He's now with the Florida Panthers. Have you spoken to him, and what does that loss really mean to this locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I texted with Whitey a little bit, just kind of wishing him the best and thanked him for everything. He got back to me pretty much immediately, just kind of reiterating the same thing to me and that sort of stuff, because we were both injured at the same point. But yeah, I mean, he's just such a great human being. I mean, let alone hockey player. I think he's a fantastic hockey player, but just as a person, like, that's a guy that you want in your locker room. That's a guy you want to go to battle with. He keeps everything. He's serious when he needs to be serious, but he keeps things light when he needs to everything needs to pick me up, sort of thing. So he has a really good read of the room. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm a firm believer in this. Being a good person will take you a heck of a lot further in life than this game ever will. So, and I think he is the epitome of that. I think Whitey's just an incredibly great person, and I got all the time in the world for him.
Well, when
sorry.
Any breaking news there or anything?
Sorry.
Next time, you better visit him in Florida, though. I mean, you got to be jealous about that. Ottawa's a nice city. It's a beautiful city. We don't got palm trees and the ocean and a beach, though. So he might be winning in that aspect, huh?
Yeah, maybe. But
well, besides that, Angus, I know you got to go see your family. Enjoy that. Enjoy the long weekend. I appreciate you joining the show. Good luck at the rookie tournament. Good luck in the camp and the preseason. And I hope I get to speak to you during the season as you are with the big club here in Ottawa. Angus, always a pleasure. 3 times now. Big time friend of the show. Thank you very much, Angus, for joining us, and good luck at the rookie tournament.
No, thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate you having me on. Always.
Always a pleasure. Speak soon.